Honestly, I'm mostly impressed that they were able to start and end at the scheduled times.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Amanda and you're watching Swell Entertainment, and I am coming to you from my hotel room after the end of Ace Family Fest, or Ace Fest, the official Coachella meets Disneyland put on by YouTube family vloggers, the Ace family. Already, some of you are concerned. Every time I do one of these videos, there's at least a handful of people who really don't understand that I go to these events to review them. I am rarely, if ever, a fan of the people who are putting on these events. I am going with the express purpose of reviewing the event. I'm very tired and slightly sunburnt, but actually not nearly as bad as I've been for past events. So all in all, doing fairly good. Most of this video is probably going to be vlog footage with me doing voiceovers over it. They were playing music the entire event. Not live music, but they were playing music. This event was not cheap, and I ended up going alone. So I am paying for it entirely out of pocket, so I would like the ad revenue on this video. Before I get into the video itself, a couple of things that I want to clarify just from what I've seen on Twitter throughout the event itself and my coverage of the event. Not every single person that was there paid $400+ to be there. And I do think that there was a fundamental misunderstanding of what that ticket actually meant when people were talking about it. Yes, originally VIP, which was the meet and greet and the sign poster, that was like what it got you. That was about $400+, okay? But what people didn't understand is that the Ace family does this a lot. They did this with all the platforms. They do bundle tickets where you have no choice but to buy multiple seats in one go. And my understanding is that they're trying to discourage individuals like me from going, but I also think it's their way of filling up the seats with the illusion of a discount. $400-ish for 5 people. So like I bought the ticket, my name is on the ticket, but it covers 4 other people. So originally when I bought my ticket, I figured that maybe my cousin and her 3 children were going to come with me because I'm fairly certain they're fans of the Ace family. And I was like, okay, I'll bring actual children to this all ages Ace family channel event. And then the closer we got to the event, I realized, okay, it's in the desert outdoors and it's gonna be very hot. And with how other social media events have played out for me, I thought it was best to leave my kid cousins out of it. So I ended up coming alone because me being in danger is one thing. There was also the general tickets, which I believe were about $2.99. I think it was 3 tickets in total for general admission. And that got you everything without the meet and greet. And then when those weren't selling, or when they claimed they sold out, but they didn't actually sold out, they decided that that was still not enough people, or they just, again, were not selling enough of the bundle tickets. So they decided to start doing the individual tickets. So 1 ticket for GA and 1 ticket for VIP. I believe the individual VIP tickets sold out pretty quickly after that as well. The individual VIP tickets were like $150-ish, I think. But I bought my tickets like the moment they went on sale because I'm used to these events selling out. And honestly, despite what everyone likes to believe, the Ace family does in fact have fans. This event was entirely attended, or mostly attended, by fans. The coverage you see is from +1s and YouTubers like myself talking about it. I was always going to be honest about my experience with this thing. So obviously, if things aren't going well, or I'm just covering the event, people are like, oh my God, this is horrible, whatever, because it's me, it's you guys, you know, it's that type of thing. Whereas if I was like, look at me playing this game, instead of showing how barren the attendance was, obviously context matters, and the context that you're getting it from is me, and you know the state of my content, so you're expecting that I'm going to an event that's going to be a disaster. Overall, the event was attended by fans of the Ace family or families whose kids were friends of the Ace family, and so they bought their kids tickets. Children under a certain age, I don't think needed tickets. Yeah, the number fluctuated off and on, and people came and left, but honestly, the amount of people that were there wearing Ace family merch, not just that, personalized Ace family merch. All in all, do I think the event was worth it for one individual, myself, to go? Not really. Even if I were to buy the individual ticket and I didn't buy the group ticket when I bought it, I don't think it was worth it. Even if I had met them, fan or no, to market this as an Ace Family event was laughable. It was a carnival with a meet and greet.
All right, it's day of. This is the starting fit. They said that we're not allowed to bring outside food and drink, so they better have food and drink. I made sure to get cash yesterday just to have it. I have my cards. I'm prepared. I was worried they were going to turn me away because the event doesn't start for like 2 hours. I wanted to get out here and get in line because I'm assuming there's already a good amount of cars out here and things are set up. So I'm going to go scope things out and get some footage and see where I'm at here. Okay, so it's just me. I had to buy the bundle. And I told them my cousins were going to come with me and then they couldn't, but they still gave me 4 wristbands, so I have extras. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who this is. There's a water station set up by the entrance with free water cups that you could grab, and if you wanted a bottle of water, they were $2 a piece or 3 for $5. The oasis that those people are walking to is where the meet and greet was originally held. This is honestly the main section of where the Ace Family branding was. Ace Family stuff everywhere. Just got let in. I was one of the first groups. We've got all the food trucks back there, seating. The oasis, there's something happening there, maybe the meet and greets, and then this is all the ride areas. Ferris wheel. Another Ferris wheel. I will keep you posted and updated as best as I can. Should I try and get on some of these rides before I try food? They have a couple of vendors over there. They're vendors. Went by the bathrooms. They also have porta potties back there. Ooh, I'm doing mega slide. Hold on. Whee! I went on pretty much all of the rides throughout the day. A lot of people were saying I would not trust a ride put up by the Ace Family. And honestly, I agree. I don't trust the Ace Family. Who I do trust are the ride techs who assembled all of this, who do this as their literal full-time job. Though the meet and greet line formed immediately, they didn't actually come out to meet people until 1 p.m. I got a chocolate soft serve cone. It was $5. Asked the vendors if they had to apply or what, if they're paying, and no, apparently the Ace Family or their team reached out to the vendors. So that's nice that they're not making them pay to be here. At least I don't think. That's my understanding, is that they reached out based on what she said. So right around the hour mark is when they finally came outside, but this is what the meet and greet line looked like. And then from the side of the oasis is where you could kind of see them here and there. It wasn't showing up on my camera, but that is in fact a photo of the Ace Family on the side of the big Ferris wheel. This Ferris wheel is discriminating against a single lady. It's hot girl summer. I can't be tied down. Oh, they need two people at least, and I'm only one person, so whoops. I really don't get why there are people saying it's only YouTubers here and then like a handful of fans, because that's just straight up not true. Like, yeah, it looks sparse on camera, but like the amount of people here wearing Ace Family merch that are here for the Ace Family or because they're fans of being content creators and things like that, like that's mostly who's here. And then there's like a handful of people who are content creators, which is how all of these events always work. There's always someone covering it or their friends or whatever. Which I need my horse. I think Pestilence? I think that's a good name for this horse. And here is the original view of everything from the top of the Ferris wheel, the big Ferris wheel. The fence that you see in the background on the other side of that is Summer of Soul. That was the competing event. That was about $15. I got a Ninja Turtle spray tattoo. No, this was not free. It was about $10 for just plain black ink. At one point, I realized the big long line was gone, and I'm thinking, oh my God, they already shut down the meet and greet. But no, they moved the entire thing indoors, which they should have done from the start because there was air conditioning in there. There's security there. There's more people. All lining up to meet them way in the corner. Got many pancakes. So it's a little after 5 now. Still pretty warm. Talked to some more vendors. Someone was told to expect 5,000 people. And a different vendor was told to expect 3,500. So, but everyone seems pretty optimistic that more locals are going to come through once it gets a little darker and cools off more. It is cooling off, but it's very slowly cooling off. It is very hot. I want to address the comments that I'm sure I'm going to get where I don't talk about how this whole thing is basically a scam or not, or why would I go to an event put on by scammers. Obviously, I was going to go to this event for a review. They weren't allowing press in this, so you needed some people to go in here to film things, which is what the YouTubers do. That being said, is this event technically a scam? You could argue that yes, because of the false marketing, because they promised too much too soon and then said no refunds from the jump. Said they were going to have these things and then probably realized how much money that was going to cost, and they were like, oh no, we need to maximize profit, so we're going to get rid of that and then change this and then change the marketing so it looks like we never actually promised that. False advertising, that is the scam here. You can argue that the price itself in general is a scam. Even if this was a full-on music festival, you could argue that price is a scam. Because it's the Ace family, you are technically paying a premium because it's an Ace family event. Even if this was just a carnival with a meet and greet. Charging too much money for something is technically not illegal. Yes, they lied about a lot of the marketing. Stole footage from a small videographer. Walked things back that they promised and all of that. But they did technically say they were going to hold an event, and then they held an event. I think today is just healing my inner child while also doing my job.
I know. They're like over by that door over there.
All right, they are officially not letting anyone else in to meet them. Some people are pissed because they were told they were allowed to leave to the bathroom, and they're not being let in because they're saying there's a hard time of stop. However, no one made that very clear, as in that was not made clear at all. So yeah, they're not letting anyone else in. So sorry guys, I do not get to meet the Ace family. Never underestimate asking nicely. I asked the security guard who wouldn't let me in, can I at least get one of the posters since that's promised in my ticket? So I've got a signed poster of the Ace family. Do I know what I'm gonna do with it? Not really. It honestly makes me uncomfortable, but at least I feel like I did my very best to get the most out of my ticket price. I would say that there were a lot of people that left earlier on in the day, and a few people came in the evening time, but it wasn't a ton of people. They didn't really advertise it as a come and go type of event. And we have mostly accepted that they're not going to be let into the meet and greet, but they're waiting out here for other people who didn't go to the bathroom and were allowed to stay in line, or for them to just eventually finish up and come outside. But the meet and greet thing kind of sucks because yeah, the line was long the entire time. I don't think it was ever shorter than 3 hours until like the last shutdown and all of that. The problem with that is that when you have an event where there's a lot of kids present, the VIP pass where you have 5 tickets in one probably went to a family for the most part. It probably wasn't just people like me. You have people who were like, okay, well my kids are not going to sit in line this entire time, so we're going to go play around and ride rides and eventually we'll come back. And now they're like, okay, our kids are tired out, they'll fall asleep in the stroller or whatever, and they can't go in and get their meet and greet because they're not being let in. Or even just individuals like myself who were like, yeah, eventually I'll go in, but I don't want to do it now. You know, sorry, my thumb is in the middle. Temperature's dropped, it's very comfortable, it's not chilly. Apparently there was a hard time announced, but I don't think it was announced. I'm sure it was inside the room where they've just been yelling or something. The fact that they don't have at least one central stage to make announcements is stupid, and just mediocre is not the word, even though I guess you could say that that's the entirety of this event. That just seems very like a basic step, like a way to announce things to people when you are running this whole event, you know? It's not like this is a carnival and then the Ace family happens to be here. This is your event. You should have a way to communicate with the people who are here to see you. That's where I'm at. The wind is really bad, so I'm sorry if the audio is terrible.
You all having a good time? Alrighty, make some noise for the Ace family one time! Alright, I'm gonna pass the mic on over.
Hey guys, I don't know if you guys remember on the flyer when we were selling the tickets, we said we were giving away some prizes.
All right, real quick before we do this, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out. You guys are amazing. You guys are the reason why we continue doing what we're doing. I'm telling you right now, it wouldn't be the same without all of you beautiful people. When I say the Ace family is one strong-ass army, I really do mean that.
It's kind of funny because they're doing the raffle, but no one that they're calling is here still. Or at least they're not in this area.
Next person, Norma Miguel. Norma Miguel.
To all those Ace haters out there, you guys know who they are, who said this was a fake event, it wasn't real, it wasn't happening. We showed them. And all you guys, thank you again.
One last thing real quick for my video. I'm not gonna sit here and cuss because we got little children here, but one thing I do want to say, all of us together, we're gonna say F you, okay?
Oh yeah, also the balloon pop game had Gibbs' face on the balloons.
F, we're gonna start a chant, at least for like 10 seconds of my video. Can we do that? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And get
And there's Catherine and Austin leaving the DJ booth area with their horde of security. Keep having to take pauses to sneeze. My allergies, the dust out here, the wind. I'm not built for this. I'm just not. About an hour left. People are getting some games in. They did the raffle and all of that. They talked about the Ace Family haters. I mean, hey, I'll fully admit, I'm very impressed for what it is. Because I did not think this was going to come to fruition. Is that what was advertised? No. But they did put on an event, and people are here, even though it's not time. And it was not shut down by the fire marshal, which is more than I can say for Tannic. 2 minutes to 10. I'm going to start making my way out. Definitely clearing out. People are like, okay, it's 10. Let's get the kids home. It's late for a lot of kids. I saw Alan again, which is Austin's dad. I should have gotten him to say something, but you know what? Just keeps walking past me. Won't stop when I say something. So I'm taking that as a sign from the universe that maybe I shouldn't get him to say subscribe to Swell Entertainment on camera. I will say, parents do have it nice with strollers. Strollers are like the new age parent rolling backpacks. And I think that we should make those more socially. Oh my God, those little like push carts that like people take to the grocery store. Oh my God, I should have brought that. I'm gonna get one of those for these events. Because I hate these things are cutting into my shoulders. And I just shoved my stuff in this so I could cosplay as an Ace Family fan. But I need one of those push carts. Clearly, that's just the way to go. And just like that, it was the end of Ace Fest.
Would I recommend going to this in the future if they cut the price in half at the very least? For an individual ticket, chop it, all of it, in half. I don't care if you do the bundles. Chop them as well. This was not worth that much money. I don't care who you think you are. This was not worth that much money. It was hot. You do not have nearly enough coverage. And you're from here. You know how hot it gets. Get more coverage. Get more canopies. The fact that you guys didn't have more branding around was genuinely surprising to me. The prizes didn't make sense because you advertise unlimited prices, but then you guys gave us tickets at the very start. We did not have to pay for tickets, but it was given to us when we scanned our Eventbrite passes and then got our wristbands. We were given a bunch of tickets. Now I told them, I said, I'm sorry, I'm here alone. I had a story prepared just in case. They were like, oh, okay, that's fine. And gave me all 5 wristbands. I gave one away, but I still have the others. And then a string of tickets. Because they gave me all 5 wristbands. I think that string of tickets was originally meant for 5 people. So I ended up getting 3 or 4 pieces of merch. But I'm fairly certain I was supposed to get probably 1, if that. You advertise unlimited prizes. Why? What was even the point of that? It's not like you guys were running out of merch. I really don't think you were in danger of that. And especially because carnival games are notoriously not easy. A lot of them are rigged. I'm just genuinely bad at them if you see some of the footage.
If you make one, you get one of the little balls. If you want one bigger prize, you have to go to
We don't speak about how bad it was at that just now, please.
But I won a few. At least TanaCon had official TanaCon merch. Did you guys even have official Ace Fest merch? Or were you just repurposing your Ace Family merch? That's what I assume you were doing. This was the inaugural Ace Fest event. You guys kept advertising on your website. It's still on your website. This could be the last Ace Family event. Meanwhile, the entire time you're saying this is going to be the first Ace Fest event. We're going to do more. All this stuff. And then at the end, I did think it was funny that you guys had a whole segment about haters and you kicked out, or you turned away some YouTubers because there was no press allowed, which I do think is interesting. Side note, shout out to the girl who was working the ticket parking thing. To be fair, I got there super early, so I'm sure that's probably why if I came later, they probably would have still charged me. But she was like, oh, it's Swell. You can go on ahead. So I did not pay for parking, but there was some misunderstanding because some people thought that I did not pay for my ticket to get in. I did pay for my ticket. I have my receipt and everything. I paid back in May. I have been prepping for this for a while. And that's how I always do these events. I always pay. Like sometimes people will be like, oh yeah, you're here, here you go, here's a badge, you know, but I usually pay out of pocket for the most part because my whole belief is that, okay, just get me there and I'll figure the rest out later. Same went for here. Also, I have a gnarly bruise forming on my knee because I am 24 and 5'2", and I decided to try and fold myself into multiple rides meant for small children. This one, I believe, is from the little plane ride that goes up and down. Worth it. It was fun. It was purple.
I had crammed myself into a plane. I do not fit. Not very well. It's very hot in this thing.
My nose is also super stuffed up right now, so sorry if I sound a little insane. And it's also very late. It's 10:35 now. We're in the hotel room. The walls are pretty thin, so I don't want to talk too loud. So I have no idea how much of this audio is going to be usable. Yay! Sunburn-wise, really not that bad. I really won't know the extent of the damage probably till tomorrow morning, but I got some stupid sunburns on the back of my heels because I think that's where I missed sunscreen. I clearly have a little bit of a farmer shorts tan from my shorts, but it's not too bad. And I put makeup on before I filmed this part because when I got in here, I realized my top lip and the bridge of my nose is super pink. I look like I got a bad chemical peel. That's what it looks like. So I've got a little bit of concealer on there right now, but I'm sure I'll look insane tomorrow. Can't wait. Would I recommend this event? Even for fans of the Ace family, I don't know. Again, you gotta cut the price. I know you guys did this for a cash grab, cause like foreclosure on your house, paying back a bunch of the people for the last boxing match. You got the new boxing match at the end of this month. I'm sure there's a lawyer fee in there, 1 or 2. I get it. You needed an influx of cash, which is why you tried to make this as expensive as possible for attendees and as cheap as possible to put on. I get it. I know the social media drill, but seriously, the cost was stupid for what was there. There was no live music. You guys are the Ace family. At the very least, you advertise it to like other content creators that I know you guys are friends with, or at least were friends with, and they'll come out and do some bullshit song and dance. That's what YouTubers do. Everyone's got to make music at some point. It's the easiest way to stay relevant, at least for a little bit. But then also it's just a way to communicate with your audience at the event itself. Like when the line got shut down for the meet and greet, having a stage or even the DJ booth being utilized more as a way of announcements, or like the speaker system being utilized more or something, I don't know, a way to communicate with the people there. That's what they're there for. They're there to meet you. And so it wasn't just me who was like, I'm not waiting in line for this. I'll come back when it's shorter. It wasn't that. It was people were there with their kids and they knew their kids were not going to stand in line for 3 hours to meet you. So they were like, okay, we'll come back when it's shorter. Or they let one of the parents stay in line, but not the kids, and X, Y, and Z with the other parent or something like that. And then at a certain point, they wouldn't even let people back in from the bathroom. Like there was this one girl in front of me crying because she literally went to the bathroom to clean herself up a little bit and her family was waiting inside and the security guard wasn't gonna let her inside. Luckily her family saw and they were able to flag down and another security guard said, go ahead and let her in, X, Y, and Z. But like that was the case with a lot of people, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who they didn't let in. Was it worth it for me? Yes, I got to make content out of it. I love when people are like, what were you expecting? I was expecting it to be a shit show. Why do you think I went? I wasn't expecting it to be this romantic, amazing carnival experience, Coachella meets Disneyland. Of course I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting it to be way worse than what we got. The fact that no one died, the fact that the fire marshal didn't say, hey, we're shutting this down, the fact that, okay, I should say, I heard reports that people collapsed. I did not see this, and no one that I spoke to could actually verify that anyone had like collapsed, and I could not find any evidence that like a paramedic came through or anything like that. People were supposedly dumping water on their kids' heads. That I buy. It was very hot. They had a water station, which I do think was the best they could really do. I do think they needed more shade, but I do think that they did what they, I guess, the bare minimum of what could be expected for something like this. The fact that the event started on time, I mean, it's hard to be not on time when you have no like scheduling. It's just like fair, meet and greet, food trucks. Have fun. That's it. I guess it's not that hard to be on time with all of that. Could it have been worse? Absolutely. Could it have been better? 100%. Even for someone who's not a fan of you guys. As someone who this event was like tugging on my nostalgia because I grew up going to the OC Fair and spending my summers there because my dad was a vendor for years. Like, going on those rides was tugging at my nostalgia, but at the same time, I was getting bored and it was hot. The only reason I stuck around was for this video and because every other person I spoke to was like, yeah, I'm leaving.
I should also point out that the people that I spoke to, no one genuinely said they had a horrible time. A bunch of people said they were just excited to actually meet the Ace family. Some people were disappointed they didn't get to make it in through the meet and greet. But the phrase I heard a lot was, it's fun for the kids, as in they were glad their kids were enjoying themselves.
Anyways, that's really going to be it. Reminder, I have a podcast, the Swell Shenanigans podcast. I'm sure this will be come up at some point in the next episode. New episodes every Wednesday. Reminder, I have merch. I don't have a mug to point to because I'm in a Best Western right now. Shout out to my patron. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also explore me on Patreon, that'll be listed down below. Like to follow me on my social media, that'll be all up here. And that's gonna be it. Have a lovely day. See you at the next event. Goodbye. Listen, just because I, the person giving you coverage from this event, am not a fan of Ace Family, and in fact am there to document it because I'm expecting it to be a shit show, does not mean that everyone in attendance is there to see it fail. Because for the most part, everyone that I spoke to, everyone that I was talking to, either their children were fans of the Ace family, they were related to the Ace family somehow, lots of family members of this thing, or they were genuinely fans of the Ace family and traveled from out of state to come here to see them.
Thank you, Audrey, Alan, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Crash PC, China, Dirty One, Dawn, Elliot, Evan, Feckless, Eric, Hopeless, Incognito, Jacare, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kim, Kristen, Lamb, Lex, Lisa, Luis, Matt, Matt O, Matthew S, Meme Lord, Michael, Michael J, Micah, Nathan, Nathaniel, Pat, Penn, Richard, Rob, Red, Robert, Ross, Sam, Serena, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Tom, Wendy, Williams, Andrews, Wink.